Hey guys, we're the How To Dudes, and welcome back to our second video of our review series. Today we are going to be reviewing the new Xbox Series X. This particular Xbox was bought from Costco, and if you bought it from Costco, it was a bundle, so you would get two controllers instead of one controller for $40 more. So instead of $500, the Xbox price was $540, but you got an extra controller with it. We are going to be reviewing how this console looks and feels, and we're going to talk about what the differences this console has from all other Xbox consoles and any other console. This console was sold out within minutes of Xbox pre-orders and has been sold out in most stores. This Xbox is the fastest and most powerful Xbox to ever be made. And this Xbox comes with 4K 120 frames per second and 8K HDR with 1TB SSD, which is 1,000 gigabytes. And it has a variable refresh rate. And it has a 4K Blu-ray player. This Xbox is very different from prior Xboxes. This Xbox looks very different because it has a more square box-like shape and it is very tall and big. Unlike all other Xboxes, which were very slim and you could lay down and were not that big. Before we move on, we wanted to tell you that if you liked the video, please remember to leave a like and show us some support by subscribing and comment down below what our next video should be about. Thanks, and now let's go back into the video. Now let's talk about the Xbox's packaging. This is the box that the Xbox comes inside of. And they have a picture of the green top that unreveals and reveals itself when you move forward and backwards. They also have their Xbox logo at the top and it says only Xbox because this generation's name is just Xbox. And at the bottom you can see it says Xbox Series X. And then on the other side, it says 4K 120 frames per second. And then the V is what Xbox calls their velocity architecture. And 1TB, which is 1,000 gigabytes SSD. To be honest, I do not really like the look of this box. I feel like they could have made it look better. It is not that good how they only show the top of the Xbox and not the whole Xbox. And if we turn it to the side, you can see there's a whole look of the Xbox with it saying Xbox Series X at the bottom and it says 1TB SSD with their Xbox logo in the top left corner. And then in the back, you see the Halo Chief and a picture of him in the mountains and it says Power Your Dreams, which is their slogan. And at the bottom, it shows an Xbox picture. It shows the velocity architecture picture and it shows consoles and games right here and it shows Game Pass. The back is very cool because it has a picture of one of Xbox's own games and it says Microsoft at the bottom. And it just talks about how this Xbox is the most powerful Xbox ever and the velocity architecture, and it says play thousands of games across our generations of Xbox, because this Xbox you can have old Xbox games from the original Xbox and you can play them on this one. And it just shows Xbox Game Pass, which is a membership service that you can buy and you do not have to buy any games and they just come on your Xbox for a membership price. And then if we turn the box to the other side, it just shows what the Xbox's features are. Like at the top, it shows 4K 120 frames per second, and then it shows 8K HDR, and then it shows the velocity architecture, and then the 1TB SSD, the variable refresh rate, and their 4K Blu-ray. And at the bottom, it shows what it includes. So it includes the actual Xbox Series X, a controller, an ultra high-speed HDMI, and a wireless networking capability. And this just is what's inside of the actual box, like the Xbox. And at the top, it just says features, and in other languages it also says features. And at the bottom you can see it says Ultra HD, HDMI, Dolby, and DTS. And then we are back to the front. And at the top you see just a picture of the Xbox with its controller and the Xbox logo. And if you bought it from Costco, this is what you're going to get. You get an extra controller, which I was saying before. This is what you get with the bundle. So you already get one controller with the actual Xbox, and you get another one if you order it from Costco. It is the same looking controller as the one from the actual box, and it comes in its own packaging. Now let's move on to the contents of the actual Xbox. First of all, you have the actual Xbox. And then you have its two controllers, one from the actual Xbox and the other one from the Costco bundle. And then you have an HDMI cord, and then the power cable. This power cable that connects to the actual Xbox is pretty different from most power cables. It is two rounded circuits that go into the Xbox from the back. And these are all the contents of the Xbox. Now let's take a look at the actual controllers and the Xbox. Let's take a look at the Xbox itself. As you can see at the top right here, we have a button, and this is the button for inserting CDs, and this is the actual CD gap that you put in the CDs. And then here you see another button. This is to connect controllers. So you just click this button and you click a button on top of the controllers, and then they will pair. And here is one USB connection port if you just want it from the front. And here of course is the top where you can turn on and turn off the Xbox. And at the top you will see a cool green look that reveals and unreveals itself. And then if we turn to the side, there's really nothing except two little a picture of Xbox and then the writing for Xbox. So this is their logo. And then if we turn it all the way to the back, you can see this is where it says Xbox Series X and it says HDMI and other stuff. And at the bottom you see two air vents. And this is where all the plugs go in. This is the power wire, and it goes in at the bottom, and here's one HDMI port. And if you buy the Seagate Xbox storage expansion, it goes in right here, and an Ethernet cable and two more USB plugs. And at the top, this is another air vent cable. And then if you turn it again, you will see there's nothing but these four dots, which this is if you want to lay the Xbox flat, you would lay it down like this. And we've come back to the front, but that's not all. If you turn it over, you would right here be able to read "Hello from Seattle." Xbox purposely put this right here, and it says "Hello from Seattle," and it says Xbox in the front because Microsoft's headquarters are located in Seattle. And this is a base for the Xbox to stand on. Now let's take a look at the controllers. If you pick one of the controllers up, you will notice at the top they have added grips onto the back buttons. Right here they've added grips because there weren't grips here before, and a lot of gamers complained that your hand would just slip off. Now you have a nice textured grip right here. And here they just added a small grip on the top buttons, but there's no difference on the top. And then they also added a new third button, which is the share button. If you hold this, you can take a video, and if you click it, it will take a screenshot. And these are your start and back buttons like usual. And then you have your colorful AXYB. And what they did different with these controllers is the really cool new D-pad. This D-pad looks way different than most controllers, and it looks very cool. It has a little indent in the bottom, so you can just press up, down, and side instead of clicking on the actual buttons. And obviously you have your two main analog sticks. And if we turn it to the back, nothing different, just its regular battery port, and it says Xbox on it. And it has a little plug thing, and this is where you click if you want to connect your Xbox controller to your Xbox. And at the bottom, this is where you can, if you don't want to put in batteries, you can buy charging ports and you can insert the controller in. And this is for headphones, that if you don't want to disturb anybody else. That's pretty much with the Xbox. And also, they also added textured grips right here so you don't lose slip of it. And on the actual analog sticks, before your hand would slip off when trying to press forward, now they added grips so that your hand does not slip off. They considered a lot of complaints that gamers had and put them into the controller. One negative thing about the Xbox is that it's not stainless at all. Even when you touch it like this, it makes a little imprint on the Xbox for a couple of seconds. It disappears, but if somebody has oily hands and they touch this Xbox, there's going to be marks all over from where they touched it. Even when you like press on it, say you're grabbing it somewhere and you just hold the thing, you'll check it and you'll see that there will be little marks, but they'll disappear in a little bit. Another thing about this Xbox is that it's pretty heavy. It's not as light as the other Xboxes. It's around 10 pounds. It's by itself without packaging or anything. One good thing about buying from the Xbox Series X bundle from Costco is you get this free voucher for 14 days for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Most vouchers like this, you would have to reoccur payments and it would just be a trial and you would have to put in a credit card and everything. For this, you do not have to. You just get it for 14 days so you can try it out without having to worry that it's going to reoccur your checks and your credit cards whenever you keep continuing and you forget to cancel it. It does not do that. And the cool thing about Game Pass Ultimate is that you get all perks of Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Live, but you also get to download all Xbox games. And they're for free because with this membership, you get them all for free. So the day they come, you do not have to go to the store. You can just download them from your Xbox and they do not cost a penny. But this Game Pass Ultimate does cost $14.99 and it's a monthly membership. You can buy cheaper memberships which don't have Xbox Live Gold and they just give you games for free. But that is also a very good deal. Overall, if anybody that's looking for a next-gen cool Xbox or any console, I highly recommend this and I give this Xbox an A for all of its way it looks. His controllers, they really took account to all the gamers' complaints and they added what everybody was asking for. So if somebody's looking for a next-gen console, this is the one to get. It is very nice and the controllers look very sleek and the whole design is very cool. There's nothing that looks utterly bad about it. We hope this review helped you consider all factors in buying this Xbox. If you want a new looking Xbox that's really high powered and has really good high definition, then this is the Xbox to buy. But just be warned, if you have an older TV, most older TVs cannot handle this. You need a more higher and newer HD model TV. So like newer Samsungs and stuff would work. But if you have an older TV, I don't think it would work that good and it may damage your TV. So you might consider that as well. But please remember to leave a like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.